I was just reading Facebook and I came across this comment from Jeremy. He says, my dog finally decided that he likes Frisbee. Only for short tosses right now, but basically after ignoring it forever, it's a step in the right direction. And I really wanted to just acknowledge you, Jeremy, for sticking with it. It's important that we all understand that there are different levels of play drive from our dogs. Some dogs are just crazy about fetch, other dogs are somewhat into it, and some dogs are just not into playing fetch at all. But that number of small dogs that's not interested in playing fetch at all is much smaller than you think it is. You may be surprised to find out that your dog actually loves fetch. Fetch is kind of like an addictive substance to a dog that is not immediately addictive. So they might like it and play around with it for a little bit, but you should notice over time, if you go about it properly, that your dog desires to play fetch more and more. Now, I'm going to give you just a couple of quick tips here. One of the first rules that so many people break, including many professional trainers, is teaching fetch with food as the reward. Our goal is to make that toy so desirable and so fun that that becomes the reward for our dog. The game itself. Perhaps the most important thing is, don't be boring, be engaging, be interesting with your dog. It's important that we bring life to the object that we're playing with them. It's never just throw it and wait for them to do the work. As a matter of fact, in the beginning, you have to do the work. You've got to go run after the toy, play keep away. The reason most dogs, when learning to play fetch, will pick something up and run the other direction from you is because they just simply want to play a game of chase. That's an instinctive game. That's where you want to start. Play chase with them. Just make sure you're not chasing them. You've got to make sure that you pick up the toy and run from them and keep possession of the toy for a little bit, then throw it. When teaching fetch to your dog or playing fetch with your dog, you have to keep it a frustration-free zone. If you start trying to push it and shove it down their throat, they're going to lose interest. They're going to see that you're not having a good time, and they're going to be less likely to participate in the activity with you. Start with fetch by teaching it in the living room, then try and get it in the backyard, but understand they're not going to, just because they play fetch in the living room does not mean they're going to play in the backyard. In fact, they almost never will in the beginning. You kind of have to work with them to generalize that. Once they're playing it in the backyard, they may not play at the park until you take them to the park often and let them know, oh, this is where we play now. Be very patient with your dog when asking them to play fetch in various environments. Mix up your currencies too. Think outside the box. Something that a lot of you know that your dog might like, you probably discovered this by accident, are plastic water bottles. Those can be magical for a lot of dogs. Some dogs like a Frisbee, some dogs like a ball, sometimes they like a squeaky toy, sometimes they like a furry toy, sometimes they like a hard toy. It just really depends on your dog. So tomorrow night I'll be posting a video on my main channel where I will give you general dog training advice as well as advice on dealing with unwanted jumping. So if you were to grade your dog on a letter scale, say A through F, where would you grade them on their potential to learn fetch? Or if they already play fetch, what grade would you give them right now? Tell me in the comments below, click thumbs up if you like these videos, and thank you again so much for liking me on Facebook.